you.
So, Amit, my name is Satyam. So, I have like 7+ years of experience in SAP BI HANA. So, and for the past
B,
3, 4
sorry, you said
SAP
BI,
SAP BI HANA.
BI HANA. Okay.
So, for the past 3, 4 years, I've been working in this HANA space, and I'll be taking care of this HANA course. And
Okay.
this is about me. So if you can just brief me about you, so that I can, it will be helpful for me to structure this demo.
Yeah, sure. Basically, just to let you know, I am completely new and freshy in SAP.
Okay.
I have been working in IT as a project manager for a number of years, but mainly in Microsoft platform. And
Okay.
but now I want to move towards SAP. And
Okay.
there was a couple of modules which I wanted to do, which is MM, SD, and BI. BI is I've been told by a lot of people that BI is more towards IT background than any other module, but not
Okay.
sure. Then Sana yesterday told me about HANA as well.
Yeah.
I understand the HANA is a kind of like a database, which I understood from Google, like
Okay.
in-memory database. But I really need to know exactly what it is and how is it different between normal BI module or BI
Yeah.
software, and how is it different in HANA, and what is HANA, and plus I want to know, like if suppose I was thinking of doing SAP MM,
Okay.
how is it different in HANA?
Okay.
How HANA is basically different with all the other modules.
Okay.
Because I understand HANA is completely new technology, and it's not a module, it's a technology, right? Am I right?
Yeah, so precisely, it's rather than calling it as module, it's a technology.
Yeah,
So as you exactly have in your mind, like you basically want to understand what each one is and how HANA is different from the existing solutions that are available in the market for BI.
yeah,
And SAP themselves have a solution called SAP BI system, and how different is this from other
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll precisely target this demo on understanding what is SAP HANA, nothing technical. Okay, so
Okay,
the whole
okay,
purpose of this demo is basically how I want to structure this. You want to understand, I would say I wish you to understand what is data warehousing, a basic 101, what is data warehousing, okay,
yeah, yeah.
and what is BI and how HANA is completely different from the BI, okay.
Oh, okay.
Why they are calling it as like a latest one, and it's very powerful. You would have heard all these terminologies whenever you search for this. You, like you said, in-memory database, what is those things will precisely target. Okay. So
Okay.
at the end of this demo, you should know what is this data warehousing, what is BI, and how different HANA when you compare with existing tools in the market.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so based on this info, you should be able to make a decision. Why should I need to go for HANA? Okay,
Okay.
so
That's
you
fine.
have a
That's
couple of things in your mind saying the why should not I try for an MM or other modules or HANA? So you should get an answer saying why I need to go for an HANA. You will have to be personally convinced, right, in order to take up a stream.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll tell you what my main concern is, because
okay,
I'm new to the SAP altogether.
okay,
And when I was looking for HANA, there's a lot of things in HANA, like a lot of different modules within HANA. Like you saying
okay,
BI, I've seen a lot of HANA S4. There's a lot of jobs are for going for S4 HANA. So I'm getting very confused. And there's
okay,
something regards to cloud as well. So I don't know within HANA, if I'm going for HANA, then I don't know where to start, which would be the nice and easiest path for me to step in. So I
yeah,
really need to know, and because I want to do a certification as well, so I want you to advise me what's the best path, and what the course you are doing, what sort of
yeah.
certification I can do after doing that course. Is it just a BI, or I can do something else, or what? All these questions I have. So I hope you will be able to
Exactly, Amit. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, I will tell you. So all those things which you heard, we will sort out everything, and I will make you understand what precisely HANA is and how different is that from existing things that are available in the market. And within HANA space, you would have heard all these HANA cloud platform, S4 HANA, these things, simple finance, S4 HANA, lot of things you would have heard. So I will precisely tell what is all about that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that
Sure.
you can able to make a better decision out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Sure.
start with the demo. A very simple thing. You would have heard about a term called data warehousing. Okay. In a lot of things, in a general terminology, if you work for any organization, they will say if you want to pull out any report, they will say it's been picked up from a data warehousing system. A
Yeah.
general concept. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the data warehousing system means? Okay. In any organization, there is going to be a business critical system where
Mhm.
the actual business going to take place. Okay,
Okay.
like say if you are working for a manufacturing company, what they predominantly do is they manufacture. In order to manufacture, they need to have lot of raw materials in their warehouse.
Yeah.
First basic thing. And then in order to do that, they used to buy all these raw materials from different countries. Okay.
Okay.
So the basic process like creating a purchase order and getting the item, once it is manufactured, they send it to or sell it to other countries by creating a sales order, these sort of things.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically there will be one main system where that actual business used to happen, and if that system goes down, their business will be affected. In any organization there will be one mission critical system, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So likewise, let's say you would have heard about this thing called, say for example, in UK, I assume you have a supermarket division or something called as Morrison's, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so Morrison's will have used to sell it online. Okay, they might sell some products in the online. So you would basically log into the website and see what are the items available. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that website, what you call is, in IT terms, we used to call it as an application or
Yeah.
application layer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
in Morrison's case, it is a website. Okay, the application layer is a website. Okay,
Yeah.
what happens is this application will be supported by a database.
Yeah.
Okay, any application, any IT application can't stand or can't perform on its own. There has to be a database that supports that application.
Yes.
Okay, this database can be anything. It can be an Oracle database, it can be an MS SQL or anything. Okay, let's take a simple example. You purchase some item via this website. Say you are ordering some groceries through that website. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know whether Morrison sells groceries, but just
Yeah. They do.
take for an example.
Yeah.
Okay, so there will be a table in the database called sales.
Okay.
Okay, which contains all the records saying your order number, on what date you purchased, what are the items you purchased, the customer ID, and what is the product you have this information, which is stored in this database like a table. Okay,
Okay.
now all the entire of UK, whoever wants to purchase through that website or whoever places the order, all the details comes into this database,
Yeah.
this table. Okay, now in Morrison's there will be a marketing department for each of the entity. Say for example, there will be a marketing department for groceries, there will be a marketing department for apparels, there will be marketing department for electronics. Likewise, you have different departments.
Yeah.
Okay, a particular person from the grocery department want to see what is the sales of vegetables, okay, for the past 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, he wants to precisely pick a subset of information from a huge sales table which contains the information about all the sales that is happening through that website. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so when he tries to pull that information, which the sales table is very huge, because Morrison's is a very big player in UK where people buy a lot through that website. Okay,
Yeah.
or let's take Amazon UK. Okay, that you can relate it more. Amazon website, per day people, there will be like even it touches 1 million transactions per day.
Yeah.
Okay, it's such a kind of a big table in that you are specifically picking what is the sales of my vegetables for the past 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you run a let's take an example, this table contains 1 billion records.
Yeah.
Okay, and in that 1 billion records, you precisely trying to see the last 3 months of data specific to vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to query this table with a very expensive query, okay, which is going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are basically trying to read information from this table. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
at the same time, someone will be trying to place an order, like there will be a lot of people accessing that website and placing the order, and whenever they are doing that, there will be parallelly a write process which is trying to insert records into this table. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So you try to read and write at the same time on a single big table. What will happen is it will potentially put a bottleneck on the system.
Yeah.
Okay, and eventually it will bring this application down.
Yeah.
So what happens? Your mission critical system goes down means there is going to be huge business impact.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are not afford to do that. You can't run a very expensive query and make your system down. Okay,
Yeah.
but at the same time you can't say anyone don't do any reporting, just do the business alone. That is also not possible, right?
Yeah.
Because marketing department needs the report, and based on the sales pattern they have to do some promotion campaign, or a lot of things are depending on the data.
Yeah.
Okay, if they see that okay this particular lettuce is not at all selling, okay, they have to come up with a different pricing, okay, to make that it is attractive.
Yeah.
Okay, or say for example in Amazon UK there is a particular brand of mobile which is not at all selling, but they have a lot of goods in their warehouse. Okay,
Yeah.
so they have to reduce the price or bring in a discount in order to do that. If they want to make all these decisions, reporting is also equally important.
Yeah.
Okay, so how you going to mitigate this problem is, that's where that data warehousing comes into the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, data warehousing is similar to a system where you will have an application, okay, which is supported by a database.
Can I ask you
Okay,
something? Data warehousing and business warehousing is the same thing. BW and
it's just the same. BW is a specific product name. Data warehousing is a general terminology.
all right. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
business warehousing, you know, just the data which is used by the business. So they say instead of calling it as in a general terminology, they call it more technical. BW means more technical, you know.
yeah, yeah,
That's the difference.
and BI is same thing, but they used to call BW, but they're calling BI now, right?
Yeah, data is intelligence. That's why we call it as business intelligence.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to understand this terminology before we could,
BI, BW, DW, data warehousing, in short, they used to call DW.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so data warehousing is a general terminology. Okay,
Yes.
BI, BW, everything is like a more specific to technical things.
Yeah.
Okay, or more of a product name, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you have a data warehousing system. You forget about what is this data warehousing system or what product is that, whether it's a Microsoft product or SAP or anything else. You forget about that. It's a data warehousing system.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
any data warehousing system, the setup will be you will have an application, okay,
Yes.
which is supported by a database. This database, again, it can be anything. It can be like an Oracle database or MS SQL database or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, what the organization will do is, during the night times or during when the business operations are not happening in the system, let's say for example during the daytime, say till 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, people will be browsing through Amazon UK and placing the orders. You know, after 10 or 11, there will be very less traffic in that website.
Yes.
Okay, or almost zero. Nobody will be using it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so during that time, what will happen is they will move the data from their main system to the data warehousing system, so that the entire database comes into this picture. Okay,
Okay.
comes here in this data warehousing system. and using that data via this application, they will do lot of number crunching. Say you have data in the form of in the date wise. Say today this customer has bought this much amount of vegetables with so much amount of price. Okay, but when you see in the report, you see in more different perspective, right? You see what is the sales of vegetables yesterday, what is the sales of vegetable for this particular region, what is the profit, what is the net loss, lot of things you will see, right?
Yeah.
This table doesn't contain those information. Those number crunching, you do it in the data warehousing system using that application. Okay, so using this information, you do the reporting. Okay, so the marketing team can run the report for whichever dates they want. The data will be picked from this table and not from this table. So this is more write specific and this is more read specific. Okay, so you segregated the process of read and write into two different systems. So the write is called as OLTP systems. In data warehousing, we used to call it as an OLTP system called online transaction processing. All the business critical systems, we used to call it as online transaction processing. Okay, you process business transactions.
Yeah.
Okay, and all these data warehousing systems, we used to call it as an OLAP system.
Okay.
Okay, online analytical processing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what the system where it is used completely for reporting. Okay, if this system goes down, what is the least thing that could happen is the reporting will get affected. But the bigger picture is your business won't be affected.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why there is a concept called data warehousing system, which brings the reporting part completely out of the main business critical systems, and it ensures that your day-to-day business not getting affected. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go for a complex, when you go for a bigger organization, when the organization is big, their IT system will be very much complex.
Yes.
Okay. So they will be having lot of systems where their each business process will be using different systems to do that. Okay.
Yes.
So in order to see a elaborative picture or in order to get a complete picture, you have to consolidate all the data that is available in different systems. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I would always suggest people to take up analytics. Okay. Because when you are a BI consultant, you will be in the center of an organization. Okay. Where data from multiple systems will be coming into your system. Okay. And different business groups will be relying on this data warehousing reports which you are developing. Okay, this might be one particular system used by one different groups. Say for example, all the purchasing department will be using one IT system. Okay, all the finance department will be using one IT system. But at the end of the day, when you want to do a reporting, you have to bring it to either any of your data warehousing system. So if you learn analytics, you will be in the center of an organization. That is the first point. Okay, which I would suggest. It's not about exaggerating just because I'm in that analytics space. Okay, I'm telling you the reality. Okay, so when you take up any functional things like SD or anything, it is going to be confined to any particular system.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't see there is going to be the lifespan of any functional is maximum 5 to 6 years. Okay, because you have to step into the next level. Okay, like say when you are an consultant, you can't be saying that I'm 10 years of consultant. Then you can't find anyone who is saying I'm 10 years consultant. Okay, he will be saying I'm 10 years a retail consultant or 10 years manufacturing consultant, manufacturing domain consultant, because you have to keep on, getting into the next level. So if you know then you have to obviously know SD, because SD both works together. Okay, and when you know SD, you need to know the supply chain, how that works, like global trade services, your transportation management, lot of things are there. Okay,
so you are, if you are just doing BI, you don't need to know all this.
No. So let me tell you, in my thing, I have worked with manufacturing, retail, pharmaceutical. Okay, these three domains I have worked, and I have no idea how the functional thing works.
Okay.
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 Okay. All I care about is how I do solutioning for those clients. Okay.
Okay.
So
So you work as a consultant?
I work as a BI HANA consultant, okay, and my picture, my work is confined to this. Okay, I get data from SAP systems, I get data from non-SAP systems, I get data from other BI systems.
Okay.
Okay, so my thing is I don't know or I don't care how other systems works.
Okay.
Okay, or what is or what is SD. You can search for in LinkedIn. If you see that, you can find a profile with a person saying 10 plus years in SAP BI or 5 plus years in SAP HANA. SAP HANA is brand new, which came in 2011. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
if you find anyone saying 5 plus years in SAP HANA, they must be faking it. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very clear. So but you can find a person who says I'm 10 plus years of SAP BI.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because SAP BI, that product has been introduced 19 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, it took SAP 19 years to make a shift from SAP BI. Still SAP BI is existing in the market to go to the next level, similar to that lines of reporting. Okay,
Okay.
and most importantly, above all these, how important or how critical this technology is, BI or analytics is a common sense rather than a technology.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so everybody has a small sense of analytics in them. So if you want to calculate your day-to-day expense, what you do is you take up a MS Excel and you put, today I got this and this is the amount I spent. My total amount in my bank is so much amount, and you know how much amount is spending now.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody can do this small set of calculation, and that how good you can interpret if you see the information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would say rather than calling it as a technology, it's a common sense. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can easily relate to this analytics. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
how you do it technically, it's going to be a different, but in terms of understanding the picture, how the things which you are doing going to work, it's all about common sense. So when you know the end state, how it's going to look, you can do the technical stuffs easily. It's all about knowing the syntax. Simple.
Okay.
Okay, so this is why I would suggest people to go for analytics, and this is what the general data warehousing means. Okay,
Okay.
okay, what general data warehousing does is, whenever there is non-business hours, it is going to bring the data from your source system to your data warehousing system, and you do different number crunching, and you do the reporting based on that data warehousing system. Okay,
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
what you call it as a data warehousing system. So are you clear till this point what is data warehousing system?
Yes, I am pretty much. Yes.
Okay, so now going into the specifics, okay, let's take an example, or let's consider this is an SAP BI system. Okay, SAP
Okay.
BI,
Yeah.
it's the data warehousing solution developed by SAP. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you have a lot of data warehousing solutions available in the market. From SAP, you have a solution called SAP BI.
Yeah.
SAP BI, SAP BW, everything means same.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have a BI tool called Informatica from the company name Informatica.
Okay.
Okay, and you have another thing called Teradata from a company called Teradata.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have something called Netiza from HP.
Okay.
Okay, and you have something called Data Stage from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the usual suspects for the BI tools. If you take what are the things available in the market, so these are the predominant tools that are available in the market.
So do you need to know pretty much all of them to do your job, or
No, 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 no. So I am specific to SAP BI HANA consultant. Okay, my
okay.
initial days I worked in BI. Now then I moved to HANA. Okay, so both it's not a the thing like in order to go for HANA you need to know BA. That's a general thing which people used to have in mind. I don't know how from where they are getting, but that's not the case, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I am trying to imply is, if you take all these tools, all work in the same model. Okay, all
Oh,
these tools have an application layer which is supported by a database, and reporting is happening in that system. Okay,
okay.
this is what the general architecture for any data warehousing system. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
now coming back to this, if you have any organization, day to day the data grows. Okay, the data keeps on increasing exponentially. It's not going to be exponent, what to say, sequential or something. It's going to be exponential, the data
Yeah.
size which is going to increase. So when the data size increases, it means that you need to utilize the data in order to give very accurate information as well as a very quick information to the clients.
Okay.
Okay, or to the business who are using that. Say for example, let's take you have a supermarket in UK, okay,
Yeah.
which is having produce items like apples. Let's take for an example. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you go on a Sunday morning, no, you would have seen this. Okay, if you go on a
Yeah.
Sunday morning, okay, the price of the apples, per kg they would have mentioned, 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's take for an example. But if you go on Sunday night, the price would have been marked down to 1.5 pounds or even 1 pound. Okay, or if you can see some biscuits or confectionery items like chips or any chocolates, suddenly there will be a markdown, and when you enter the supermarket, in the front they would have kept like okay, 50% discount or price slashed, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go and precisely see, it would be nearing its expiry date.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go back to that apples example. So in the morning the price is 2 pounds, and in the evening or night it is marked down to 1.5 pounds or 1 pound. Okay, how they are taking the decision, they will be in the back end, they will be keep on seeing a report how much apples are going on, what is the sales of apples. If they have so much amount of apples in the stock and apples are not at all selling, they have to get rid of the stock, right? Else it is a perishable item, it is going to go waste.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to react, or you have to make a decision proactively and mark down the price, and you can manage the losses. If you don't reduce the price and keep it as 2 pounds, nobody is going to buy, and you're going to end up losing the entire stock.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need a very faster reporting in order to make these sort of business critical decisions. Okay,
Yes.
but if you see the data warehousing system, I'm saying you're going to migrate the data from your main system to a data warehousing system during the night time. Okay,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
means if a company CEO wants to see what is my sales that happened till 3 o'clock, he has to wait next day to see that data, because during the night time only the data
Yeah.
is going to come here, and then it will be available for reporting next day morning. So
Yeah.
in the traditional data warehousing system, there is always a lag of 1 day.
All right. Okay.
Okay, it's not a real-time reporting.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the current competitive world, if you can't do, or if you can't see the data in real time, then you are losing lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the main disadvantage, with the data warehousing system.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a very complex environment. As the data grows big and big, when you want to fetch 2 million records or 3 million records at a time, it is going to take a lot of time for this
Yeah.
reporting.
Yes.
Okay, because your reporting is here. Okay, when you execute a report, what will happen? The request will first come to the application layer.
Yeah.
From application layer it goes to the database layer.
Yeah.
From the database layer it goes to the application layer. Say for example you are adding 2 numbers, that addition of 2 numbers will happen in the application layer.
All right.
Okay, and after that it finally goes to the reporting layer. So what happens, it goes a big roundabout process which makes the whole process lot slower.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know, you have these sort of complications in using a data warehousing system, you know. So as the competition increases, data gets larger, you need a very high performance system in order to give you an efficient reporting, to
Yeah.
keep you in line with the competition that is existing in the market, you know.
Yeah.
That's why SAP has introduced a tool called SAP HANA.
Okay.
Okay, so if you take, or if I want to explain you in a layman terms, SAP HANA, generally if you, as you search, when you say SAP HANA, it will say it's an in-memory database.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have got an assumption, okay, this is a database.
Yeah.
Okay, but SAP HANA database means it's going to store the information in the form of tables, and it is going to retrieve that information if some query happens on that database. That is the simplest definition you can give it to any database, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But SAP HANA doesn't, it's not just going to store your information and going to give back that information for any query. It does a lot more than that, than a traditional database.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why we don't call SAP HANA as a database. We used to call it as an analytical appliance. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so if you say what is the expansion of HANA, it means high performance analytical appliance. This
Okay.
is the abbreviation for SAP HANA.
Okay.
So, you know, when someone, you know, generally for anything, people used to claim we are number one, we are the best in market. You used to say ours is a high performance system.
Yeah.
Likewise, you know, but generally people used to claim that, but SAP HANA named their product itself as a high performance analytical appliance. You
Yeah.
know, you can't call simply something as an high performance unless you have a strong case again with that product. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
You
That's
know,
right.
you have to make a strong case that SAP HANA is really an high performance when you compare with these BI products that are available in the market. You
Yeah.
need to make a strong case in order to prove that, or in order to claim that this is an high performance system, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't call simply, you can't make people fool now. You know, SAP, when SAP introduced, at the time they were like a big players, and people has that brand, and then, you know, they bought it, you know, like an iPhone. You know,
Yeah.
when iPhone like is a brand, people buy it, you know,
Yes.
even though it is like the best phone when you compare with any other things, it is like a brand thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but now people does lot of introspection, you know, do I need to really go for this? Why I can't find all these features in Samsung? Why do I need to put more money on iPhone? Now people are doing lot of introspection, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like Apple introduces something and people go and buy it just like that.
Yeah.
That time is over now. Okay,
Mhm.
the same thing is for SAP, you know. It's not like SAP says high performance and people go and buy right away on that. Okay, you need to make a strong case against all these competitive tools to prove that SAP HANA is an high performance, and internally within SAP itself you need to prove that it is bigger than SAP BI BW.
Okay.
Okay, so in the same company you have two products which performs the operation of reporting, then you know that makes some sort of confusion, right? Why a company needs to put a rival product, you know, which they have their own data warehousing tool. You know, there are a lot of things in this, right?
Yeah.
So you need to make a strong case to claim this as an high performance. Okay. So if you see what features makes SAP HANA as a high performance analytical appliance. Okay.
Yeah.
If you see what are those features, you know, the first and the main feature which makes HANA as an high performance is in in-memory
Yeah.
database. Okay, this is the first feature. The second feature which makes HANA as an high performance is columnar storage. of tables. Okay.
Okay.
And the third feature is massive parallel processing.
Yeah.
And fourth is real time. Okay.
Okay.
And the fifth and the last one, which I came is no data redundancy. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you ask a question why SAP HANA or how different SAP HANA when you compare with any tools, any other BI tool, you know, these are the features that makes SAP HANA as a standout tool. Okay. So before going into what is these individual features, you know, if you take SAP HANA, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to do a reporting. Okay. And your
Yeah.
reporting needs to be faster and real time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know that these tools are not real time as well as not faster.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first thing. So how other things that makes SAP HANA is, the first one is in-memory database. Now before going into the detail of in-memory database, you know, during our school days, you know, during third grade or fourth grade, we will have a subject called computer science. In
Yeah.
that, we would have read this thing called what is arithmetic logic unit.
Mm-hmm.
There will be one diagram which says this is CPU, this is RAM,
Yeah.
and this is ROM. We know that RAM is random access memory, which is faster.
Yeah.
We know that theoretically that this is faster, and you know this is a temporary memory, and ROM is read-only memory, which is permanent and which is slower. We know this.
Yeah.
Okay. So now if I want to put this in a simpler terms, you have your laptop or desktop and you want to watch a movie which is stored in your desktop. Okay.
Yeah.
So you boot your laptop, okay, and you go to your desktop, you double click that folder and you double click that movie file. Okay. It will
Yeah.
take minimum 10 to 15 seconds to open.
Yeah.
Okay. So once the movie file comes up, okay, you close that file. Okay, you
Yeah.
close that window and you try to open it again, it will open within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the thing is, we know that whenever you open something, okay, whenever you open something in your laptop or desktop, the first thing what happens is, it is going to fetch it from your ROM and it is going to cache it in the RAM.
RAM. Yeah.
Okay, and while it is displaying or playing, it is going to access it from the RAM.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why people say when something is stored in the RAM, which is memory, it is going to be faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why whenever you buy a desktop or laptop, the RAM which you buy is like a 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, you know, that
Yeah.
determines the performance of your laptop,
Yes.
you know. So we theoretically know that if something has been stored in memory or RAM, that is going to be faster than something
Yeah.
stored in the hard disk. Okay, that
Yeah.
exact concept is this. Now let's take the typical data warehousing and you have a reporting here. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
have a reporting here. Okay, this part, or let's take this part comprises your application layer, CPU and RAM, and this part
Yeah.
comprises your database layer.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you run a report, what happens? The request will come to CPU for processing.
Yeah.
CPU will send a request to RAM. RAM will send a request to the ROM where the
Yeah.
tables are available, and the information is cached in RAM, and then it is sent to CPU back, and then it is sent to reporting. You see, it has to go to all the way from here to till here, and it has to bring it over here. Now assume whatever information which you require is already available in RAM.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you run a report, it will come to CPU, it will come to RAM, and then it will fetch it from RAM, goes back to CPU and goes to reporting. So it doesn't need to go to ROM and then fetch it. It just finished the work here itself.
Yeah.
And we know that if something is there in RAM, it is going to be faster. Why it is faster is this RAM is made up of transistors and capacitors. Okay, it is all pure signals. It works with that. Whereas this ROM is made up of iron plates, like a physical hard disk.
So basically, we can say that database sits within a RAM in HANA system.
Exactly. So in HANA, what it means is your entire database is going to sit in RAM. Okay. So
we don't have extra server whatsoever.
We will be having a physical hard disk, but that is mainly used for recovery purpose.
All right.
Okay. When I say recovery, you have to carefully note down a point. RAM is called as a temporary memory.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. When you switch off the laptop, the information stored in RAM is gone.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have your entire database in RAM, and what if something happens to the system, and what happens to your data?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where this ROM is going to come into the picture. You can't remove the hard disk from the equation. It is going to be present over there and it's going to store the information, but it is going to store the information only during the recovery purpose. That means during the maintenance activities like start stop, at the time data will be stored in ROM and then it will be loaded back into the memory.
It's like it's going to work like as a backup basically.
It's just the backup, but when you run a report, the information is going to be accessed only from RAM, not from your ROM. Okay, so we are talking about a RAM capacity of 2 TB, 3 TB RAM capacity. Okay.
So in that case, just to clear this, if any new data is coming, that must be going to the ROM first, and then it automatically goes to the RAM, or
it straight away goes to the RAM, and then after some time it goes back to the ROM. It is the reverse way around.
All right. Okay.
Okay. The data first gets stored in the memory, and then it is going to be stored in your hard disk. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I will tell you why the first point which we are emphasizing on SAP HANA is in-memory database, because if you take any product, the licensing for that product is going to be number of users who are using that. Okay. Yes. The simplest thing which you buy is the antivirus or the Microsoft OS. The licensing is based on the users.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 user license, 5 user license, or 10 user license. Okay. SAP likewise, the licensing for any SAP products, it is based on the user licensing, how many ever users are going to use. Okay. But for SAP HANA, it is completely different. For SAP HANA, licensing is based on how much memory you are going to buy. Okay. There is a different licensing for 1 TB memory, different licensing for 2 TB memory. Likewise, it is different. So in SAP HANA, memory is money. Okay. So how much ever memory you are buying, the licensing works in that way. Okay. So the entire core of SAP HANA lies in the memory. Okay. This is the stark contrasting feature when you take it with any data warehousing system in the market. The information that is stored in HANA is in memory. That's why they claim it as extremely faster when you compare it with any data warehousing or BI tools that is available in the market.
Is there any other software in competition with HANA at the moment, or is just HANA?
Okay, so this in-memory technology, it's a common technology, So in the late 90s, many companies are doing the R&D, like Microsoft is doing an R&D, HP is doing, Oracle, all the data warehousing players, are doing an R&D on this, but SAP is the first company to achieve a breakthrough and release a product with this in-memory technology.
All right, okay.
Okay. There is no tool available in the market which does the data warehousing based on this in-memory technology. That is the first and the standard feature, which makes HANA as a standout application, and you see, when you just go to any job portal and search for SAP HANA, you can see a lot of requirements.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so if you see a lot of requirements, what it means is there are a lot of people buying this product. A lot of companies are investing money on this product.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is the reason, right? That's why they need a lot of developers to implement that product.
Yes.
Why? Why? Because there is no competition for this product in spite of being very much costlier. You know,
Yeah.
you would have heard, SAP is very costly. Any tool you take in SAP, it is going to be very much costlier.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and SAP HANA is no different. It is very, very costly.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why, in spite of that, still people are going for this because it is very much faster when you compare with any other business warehousing tools. Okay,
So
this is the
in your opinion, the companies who are already using business warehousing on normal SAP BI or Microsoft, whatever, are they
yeah.
migrating? Are they migrating to HANA system? Do you think this is happening a lot, or a lot of companies who are not who are basically getting a new BI system, they just going directly for a HANA BI?
Okay, so there are two types of customers, I would say. Okay, one who doesn't have SAP system in their landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, and another customers who already have SAP BI system in their landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, so a company which doesn't have SAP system in their landscape and they are freshly going for a SAP implementation, say for example, one of the retail client, which I have, say the same Morrisons,
Mm-hmm.
they have their business happening in a legacy mainframe system.
Yeah.
Okay, all that business happens in the mainframe system. Now they are going for a big shift where they want to move their entire operations in SAP. Okay,
Yeah.
so they are basically new to SAP. Okay, so for all the reporting needs, they won't be buying SAP BI system. They would be straight away buying SAP HANA system.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a first type of customer who buys SAP HANA system.
Yeah.
Okay, the second type of companies who go for this thing is existing customers who have an SAP BI system.
Yeah.
Okay, so these people, after the introduction of HANA, they felt like, they have invested a lot of money in implementing SAP BI solution, and SAP now comes into the picture and said we have a path-breaking product bigger than SAP BI. Then these people, feel like, we would have waited, right? If
Yeah.
SAP had shown we're going to introduce something, we would have waited on our implementation and we would have straight away bought this product.
Yeah.
They would be asking these things, right? So for those
Yeah.
people, to convince them, we have SAP has more than 80,000 plus customers all around the world who
Yeah.
has bought SAP BI system.
Yeah.
Okay, for those customers, SAP has brought in something called BW on HANA. You would have heard this term, SAP BW on HANA.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a different type of tools called different type of HANA system existence called SAP BW on HANA. What it means is you have this BI system. SAP BI isn't nothing but this application.
Yeah.
Okay, the existing database will be either on Oracle or MS SQL. Okay,
Yeah.
what BW on HANA is, you can migrate this database into SAP HANA. Okay,
All right. Okay.
and your SAP BI system will be running on HANA database. That's why we call it as BW on HANA.
Okay, but will that make any difference? Like this HANA, basically new BW HANA, will that be in
Yeah.
memory as well? So will it make it faster for them? Or
So it is going to be faster than this setup. Okay.
yeah,
It is going to be extremely faster than their old setup, but it's not like as fast as the
the HANA.
normal native HANA which we are right now discussing.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
So the native HANA or the enterprise HANA, okay, what we are discussing, how that is will be looking is, you have your business critical system, be any mission critical system where your actual business is happening, okay, and you're going to bring the data which is available over here. Okay, the data is going to be available over here. We're going to have a system called just SAP HANA. There is not going to be any application layer. It is just going to be SAP HANA.
All right.
Okay. So you're going to bring this information, okay, this information into SAP HANA, not in a regular way, in a different way. Because one of the main feature of SAP HANA is real time.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like you're going to do a night load where there is no business is happening. At the time, if you are bringing the data, then there is no point in going to HANA. We are going to target something called real time. So the information, how you're going to bring it over here is altogether a different way, and the data is going to remain here. Okay. And the reporting is going to happen, okay, straight away. Whenever a report is being executed, it is going to straight away query to this database and it's going to return the results. Okay. All the data modeling, that means all the number crunching which you are doing in this application layer, you will be doing it inside the database layer itself.
Okay.
That is the biggest advantage when you compare with any other tool. Okay, you do the data modeling inside the SAP HANA itself. So all your calculations, everything, instead of happening in the application layer, so let's say A plus B, you want to add two numbers, that A will be separately coming from the database, B will be separately coming from the database, and A plus B will be happening in the application layer, because the formula you will be writing in the application layer. But in SAP HANA, that A plus B will be happening within the database itself.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't see, you see there is no application layer, just the SAP HANA database, and all the data modeling will be happening within the database itself.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the biggest shift which you can see in HANA, which is not been there in any other data warehousing or BI tool. Okay.
Yeah.
That is the main advantage in terms of the architecture perspective. But in terms of features, the first one, what we saw is in-memory database. Are you clear on that point? What do you mean by that in-memory database?
I am, yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. Now coming back to the second point, columnar storage of tables. So if I say columnar storage, you know, you are saying, okay, the information is retrieved, is stored in RAM, so it is faster, everything is fine. But I'm saying at the end of the day, either it is storing in RAM or ROM, it is going to store as a table. It is a database and it is going to store the information in the form of a table, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the way it stores the information in the table is completely different when you compare with any other data warehousing tool. Okay? If you take the way of storage in database, there are two types. We used to call row storage, and there is something called column storage. Okay? All the traditional data warehouses or databases store the information in the form of row storage. Okay? What do you mean by this row storage is, let's take a simple example, customer, product, quantity, and sales. Okay, let's take, we have a simple table called like this, customer, quantity, product, sales, and you have customer is C100, P100, quantity is 10 and sales is 100. Okay, and you have a customer C200, P200, 20 and 200. Okay, so in a row storage, okay, this method doesn't mean a row storage. Okay, let's take, this is like a general table. Okay, we're going to see how this will be represented in row storage and how this will be represented in column storage. Okay, point one is, in database, if you see this information through our naked eye, it is going to display the information in this form. Okay, whether it is row storage or column storage, it is going to display it in this way itself. Okay, there is no change in terms of displaying that information in the database. Okay, but what happens internally is what matters. Okay, if the same information in row storage how it will be, or why we call it as row storages. All this information, when it comes into memory, it will be stored in the form of bits, right? A 64-bit memory. Okay. When
Yeah.
you have a 64-bit memory, this information which is there in the database will be stored in the form of rows. That means there will be a first row,
Yeah.
and then there will be second row. Okay. This is what we call it as a row storage.
Yeah.
Okay. So first row and then second row. Now let's say I am going to ask a simple question on this table saying who is my top customer. Okay, who is my top customer based on my sales. Okay,
Yeah.
in terms of sales figure, you show me who is my top customer. So we know that C200 is my top customer because 200 is the biggest amount.
Yeah.
Okay, to give that result, when you ask that simple query on this table, what will happen is, you know, all the data warehouse memory, you know, does the sequential processing. Okay, when I
Yeah.
say sequential processing, what will happen is this information, just a minute. This information, first the cursor will come here, check for customer, then it will check for product, even though I don't need to worry about product because I just care about my customer and my sales.
Yeah.
These are the two fields I'm interested about, but even though I'm not worried about or queried anything related to product, it does a sequential processing, so it comes product, quantity, this, and this. Finally, it will give me a result as C200. Okay.
Yeah.
So since the information is stored in the form of row storage and everything does a sequential processing, it stores the information or it reads the information sequentially, and after 8 reads, it gives me the answer.
Yeah.
So that means it is reading the entire table in order to give me the result.
Yeah.
Okay. That is what happening in the row storage. In column storage in SAP HANA, this stores the information in the form of tuples. Okay. When I say tuple, it means the first column will act as a first tuple. Okay. This is one tuple, this is one tuple, this is one tuple, and this is one tuple. Okay. So
Yeah.
it will be like this. If you say tuple, it will be like this. 10, 20, 100, 200. Now, if you try to represent this information in the column storage, which is coming back to that 64-bit memory, okay, you take
Yeah.
this first column and store it like this. Second column, store it like this. Third column, store, and fourth column, sorry, store it like this. Okay, so this is one tuple, this is one tuple, this is the third, and this is the fourth. Now if you try to query or if you try to ask that same question to that table which is being stored in the column storage or in the form of column storage, what will happen is it will access in the form of tuple. That means it will first check the customer, it will access the entire tuple, and then it will straight away jump to the sales tuple. It won't touch the columns which you haven't queried in your
Okay.
SQL query. Okay, it just picks the columns that you specifically pick, and in just 2 reads, it is going to give me an answer called C200.
Okay.
You see the difference? Instead
Yeah.
of 2 reads, it goes to 8 reads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so why SAP HANA, coming back to the same question, why SAP HANA is faster is the entire database is stored in the memory, and the data which is stored in the memory, the tables are stored in the form of column storage.
Okay.
Okay, that's why it is very much faster in terms of retrieving this information.
Okay.
Okay, so when I say this point, you will get a doubt saying, then why people are still following row storage? What is the need for that? Or is it like row storage is always disadvantages, or what to say, it's not the right way to store that information? You know, you might get this question in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, or is that column storage is always the best way to store that information? Okay, Or in interview, this is how people used to play, when they say what are the feature of HANA, or when you say columns, what is column storage, people will explain all these things, in the
Okay.
form of tuples, it just access, then they will put a question, then why people are still using row storage?
Yeah.
You see, still, HANA also still stores, you can create a table in the form of row storage, then why exactly that is still existing when we visibly know that that is not the best way to store it?
Yeah.
you know so you have to be very clear in this. Based on your purpose, you have to decide how you want to store that information.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are having a business critical system, I said this is more of write specific. Okay,
Yeah.
write specific means you are frequently going to insert records into the table.
Yeah.
Okay, that means I'm going to say I want to insert a new record called C300, E300, 30 and 300. Okay, so when I want to do this, and if my table is a row storage, what will happen? In the memory, it is not going to take me much time. I'm just going to come at the last and I'm going to append this information. I'm not
Yeah.
going to disturb anything over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so when your requirement is more write specific, and if your table is row storage, this works very simple, right? It just
Yeah.
appends the record on the memory. But whereas if your purpose is more write specific, and if you had stored the information in column storage, what will happen now? If you want to insert a new record, okay, the system
Yeah.
has to put a break over here and it has to insert C300, and it has to put a break over here and it has to insert P300, and a break over here and 30, and break over here and 300. You see,
Yeah.
it has to touch 4 places and it has to, for inserting a single record.
Yeah.
Okay, so if your requirement is more write specific, then you have to go for row storage.
Okay.
Okay, if it is read specific, that is mainly for reporting, then you go for column storage. Okay, SAP HANA is mainly used for reporting, which is more read specific. That's why it stores the information in the form of column storage.
So do
Okay,
they, so it means companies have both structures?
yes, but if they are using a table for reporting purpose, it will be like column storage. By default, if you create any table in HANA, it will be column storage.
No,
Okay,
for writing purpose, I mean, just to, put the data in.
that is
Um,
always row storage.
there is also HANA consists both things or one thing only?
HANA consists both things. Okay, when you just say, assume, if you want to create a table, you in HANA, you go to a particular place, right click and say new table. Okay,
Oh,
just
okay.
that is the process. When you do that, by default, it will say, it will create it as columns table. If you want to change it to row, you have to explicitly go to a particular place and change it as a row storage.
All right. Okay.
Okay, it's a table specific. You can have HANA database which consists of both row tables as well as column storage tables.
So
It is not like,
yeah. So in
yeah,
real
go
world,
ahead, go ahead.
in real world practice, that's what we do suggest to clients to write all the databases on row, and you know so as a consultant, basically that's what you would implement, right?
So as a HANA consultant, we won't be telling anything. When we bring in HANA, the whole purpose is for reporting, and for reporting, the best way is for column storage. Simple.
Oh,
We don't tell anything to business saying, we're going to store the information as a column storage or something like that. Okay.
no, no, no,
This
no.
is,
What I meant to say, if some companies hiring you as a consultant and they're using SAP BI at the moment, and
yeah,
they want to migrate their whole SAP BI to HANA.
yeah.
So how that works, as a consultant, what would you do? I mean, because
Okay.
are you gonna
So,
keep their SAP BI as well?
So in this case, BW and HANA, I said the entire database will be migrated from Oracle to HANA.
Yeah.
Okay, that means say a table is existing in the older data warehousing database called Oracle. You are moving the table to HANA. Okay.
Yes.
The migration procedure, what will happen is this table which is in Oracle will be in the form of row storage.
Row storage. Yeah.
Okay. So when you are migrating to HANA, it will be automatically converting it to a column storage table.
Yeah, that I understood. But my confusion is when he converts to column, columns, then how the writing thing's gonna work? I mean, that will slow down the process, isn't it?
No. See,
For reporting, it'll be okay.
yeah. So you are not going to touch this main system. You know, in this system itself, it's going to write. Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's what I want trying to understand. So they're gonna keep both systems, isn't it?
It's going to be always two systems.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Okay. You still do your, all business critical processes in a different system, and for reporting, you are doing it in a different system called data warehousing system, which
So
consists of.
we are just changing the OLAP system, basically, not OLT.
Exactly. OLTP remains same. We are not going to touch anything on that, you know, because we just going to bring data from multiple places and we going to do the reporting,
Sure.
you know.
Okay.
So this part we are not going to touch. We just going to change from this part to SAP HANA.
Okay. So, okay. What if new company they don't have any OLTP or OLAP system? They don't have this system whatsoever, and they want to implement new BI system and data warehousing system. In that case, what they do?
Okay, so any data warehousing system, you know, it can't exist just a standalone system. Okay, because it doesn't, there can't be any business operation that can be performed on the system, right? You can bring in data from a different system to BI and then you can do a reporting. Okay, so when a company freshly going for an IT system, they will be first deciding what system we're going to use for our business processes. To perform business critical operations, what system we are going to use. Let's say they're going to go for SAP and they're going to buy a system called SAP ECC, which is the ERP system of SAP. Okay. So they identified SAP ERP system is the right choice for us to perform all our business critical operations. Okay. So they buy that system. When you buy any IT system, at the end of the day, you have to do some reporting on top of it. Okay. So what data warehousing system we need to go for? Okay. When that comes into mind, you know, people prefer when they have their business critical system as SAP, they tend to have the data warehousing also in SAP because it complements well. When you try to bring in two heterogeneous systems, you know, there is always going to be a complication when it comes to interface. Okay. So always people buy when they go for business critical systems as SAP system, they tend to go for SAP data warehousing systems. In current case, in 2017, if someone wants to make the decision, they will never, SAP themselves will never suggest for to buy an SAP BI system. They would suggest to buy SAP HANA system. Okay.
And that HANA system have both layers anyway, isn't it? OLTP and OLAP, or is just going to show OLAP?
SAP HANA is just OLAP. Okay. OLTP is going to be different SAP systems. Say for example, in SAP terms, if you want to perform all your enterprise ERP related operations like creating a purchase order, creating a sales order, maintaining the inventory, those things, you buy a system called SAP ECC.
All right. Okay.
SAP ECC, which is an R3 system. Okay. Or let's say this is an ERP system. So if you are a retail client where all your point of sales data needs to come in, you buy a system called SAP POS. Okay. Likewise, for all different business critical operations, you have a separate SAP systems. Okay.
And that's where their data sits basically.
Yeah, that is what all these systems we call this as an OLTP system. Okay.
All right. Okay.
For SAP, for OLAP, they just have two systems called SAP BI and SAP HANA.
All right.
Okay. So you always have two systems minimum. Okay. A business critical system and a reporting system. The reporting system is what we are concentrating. That is SAP HANA. Okay, this one, the SAP HANA requirement which you see most, you know, that's what this setup is about. A
Yeah,
standalone
now,
system.
yeah, now I understood. I think I got confused a little bit, but now I understood. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what we call it as Enterprise HANA. This setup which you are seeing in your screen, the data comes from OLTP system to SAP HANA, and
Yeah.
then you do a data modeling inside the database itself, and then you do a reporting on top of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is called as Enterprise HANA. Okay. If you see any requirement for saying that we need a HANA developer for Enterprise HANA or to work in native HANA, then the setup means this.
Okay.
Okay. This is what we call it as SAP Enterprise HANA or SAP HANA consultant or SAP HANA developer. Okay.
Okay.
How
Okay.
you do the data modeling or how you bring in the information from different OLTP systems. That is where this HANA consultants or HANA developer comes into the picture.
Okay.
Okay.
And this OLAP, new OLAP system, the SAP HANA,
Yeah.
rather than sitting in customers, clients' physical location, they can take a cloud version as well. I believe nowadays.
Cloud version, you know, in terms of product availability, yes, it is available. You know, they
Okay.
can take it in the product. Sorry, take it into the cloud. But my personal experiences, it is not that stable.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So our company has purchased the cloud platform, and they know it is not working as efficient as having an on-premise HANA system. You
All
know,
right. But I'm
so
sure
you have.
in the future, I think future is about cloud.
There is no doubt about this. In another matter of maximum say 1 or 1.5 years, SAP will stabilize the cloud area.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because when SAP HANA, which is introduced in 2011, you know, till 2013, it is not that stabilized. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but right now I can guarantee you that this is the very much better and this is a very robust solution now, which you are
Yeah.
seeing right now. Okay,
Yeah.
it is very faster and it is very much. I visibly seen a report which is running in SAP BI system for 15 to 20 minutes, gave me an output in less than 2 minutes, which is running in HANA. Okay, so it is
That's
that
good.
faster. Why it's faster? Because of these reasons. Because the database is in memory and the tables are stored in column storage, and third main thing is massive parallel processing. Okay, what is
Okay.
this massive parallel processing is? Let me tell you a very simple example. Okay, you have a building, okay, and you have 5 floors for that building, okay, and you
Yeah.
want to do a paint job for this building. Okay, you have 5 floors and you have a single painter to do this job.
Yeah.
Okay, and this painter will take 1 day to paint 1 floor. Okay, to complete the entire painting job for the building, he will take 5 days.
Yeah.
Okay, but whereas if you deploy 5% parallelly, okay, the job gets done in 1 day.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the simplest definition to explain parallel processing. Okay,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and if you see, this parallel processing is, you know, we say SAP HANA, the database is stored in the memory. Okay,
Yeah.
to if to do any processing, basically you need a CPU, right? A
Yeah.
processor.
Yeah.
So in a processor you have cores. Okay, like how in our mobile phone we have like a quad
Yeah.
core,
Do.
octa-core processor, or
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
desktops you have i3, i5, i7, like 3 core,
That,
5 core, 7 core.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you have assume this is a processor. Okay, and then you have say cores inside this processor. Okay, so what happens is, oh, why can't I draw this? Okay, you have a multiple cores in that. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you are sending a query to your SAP HANA, what happens is that query will be split across into multiple subqueries, and each core executes that subquery, you know, and then it finally gives you the output. Okay, So this is parallel processing, which is there in all the IT systems which are there in the market. Without parallel processing, no IT system exists. Okay.
Yeah.
But what is this massive parallel processing? Okay. What is this massive parallel processing means? We are talking about a very complex system. Okay. So in a CPU, okay, so we have this memory. SAP HANA is basically a software. This software has to be, you need a hardware to run this software, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you take the size of CPU, okay, one processor which you are running for HANA, you know, can have maximum 8 to 10 cores.
Yeah.
Okay. These processor has to be mounted on a motherboard, right? Like a board.
Yeah.
Okay. So one board, one server board can have maximum 8 to 10 processors.
Yeah.
Okay. So assume one board will contain, let's take 10 processor and each processor contain 10 cores. That means one board will contain 100 cores.
Yep.
Am I right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Now this board will be mounted on a server, right?
Yeah.
So one server blade, we used to call it a server blade or node. Okay, one HANA server blade or node can contain maximum 8 to 10 boards, 10 CPU boards. Now imagine the size of the hardware which is going to execute your query. Okay, so 10 into 10 into 10, that's what the size is. That's why we call it as a massive parallel processing. Okay.
Yeah.
How this technology really is possible is because of the hardware cost that has been reduced drastically over the period of time. Okay.
Yes.
If you take last like say 5 or 7 years before, buying a 4 GB RAM will be very costly for your desktop or laptop. Maximum you will be having is like a 512 MB RAM or 1 GB RAM.
Yeah.
Okay. But now 16 GB RAM is not a big deal. Because of the technology, the cost has come down. That's why this SAP HANA really came into the picture. The hardware that is required to run SAP HANA, you know, came down very much lower. That's why it is affordable and companies are able to buy this SAP HANA.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are buying SAP HANA for your company, with SAP you buy only software. SAP doesn't sell hardware for SAP HANA. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a certified hardware partners who are selling from there. You can buy those hardwares. You have companies like HP, NEC, Fujitsu, IBM. These are the hardware players from whom you need to buy the hardware for running your SAP HANA system. Okay. Okay. So these things make SAP HANA, you know, as a standout application. Real time, you know, you get the data instantly into reporting. That means if you insert a record here, that means in your business critical system, if a sales order gets inserted over here, instantly it will come to HANA and instantly it will be appearing in your report.
Okay.
That is why we call it as a real time, and the real time, the way it fetches the information is altogether a different way. It doesn't follow any traditional way of fetching the information in real time. It's altogether a different technology. That's why SAP HANA is very much powerful. Okay. Now, if you really compare these features with any other tool which are there in the market for BI, it's completely different and it's totally not there in all these tools, right? Those features which I mentioned for HANA.
Yeah.
That's why this is the reason SAP HANA is claimed to be the high performance analytical appliance. We call it as an appliance because we just don't store that information. We do the data modeling within the database itself. That's why we call it as an analytical appliance, and because of those features we call it as an high performance. Now you put everything on a plate and see SAP HANA has got all these features, whereas other tools doesn't have all these features. So if I really want to venture into the space of analytics, is it the best way to go to HANA or to any other tool? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you search for Informatica consultant or Teradata consultant, I'm sure you will find lot of opportunities. There are no doubt in that. Okay,
Yeah.
you can find a requirement for Informatica developer, Teradata developer, Netizza developer, but in the long run, you see which is out like very much advanced and which is like going in a way forward direction. If you see SAP HANA is really in that space.
Okay.
So my ultimate objective is, if someone is choosing HANA, I don't want them to come into HANA just because someone of their mutual friends or their friends or colleagues say SAP HANA is having a very good deal in the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should never be the case. You should really see what are the things that are available in the similar manner. For
Yeah.
analytics, what are the tools that are available and why SAP HANA is the right choice to do. That's why I took a lot of time to explain these features, because I generally go for a demo more than 1 hour, because I explain all these features and someone who is joining the course has to make a decision based on understanding what SAP HANA is.
Yes.
You know, it's not just because someone says it is having a very good requirement in the market.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you have to be able to make a decision by yourself. Like, you should be convinced first to take this, way of going to HANA. Okay, that's why
So
you need to know what is data warehousing and what is HANA.
that I understood now, and thank you very much for that. But
Yeah.
and now I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah, tell me.
The course content you're gonna cover,
Yeah.
will that be based on SAP BI HANA altogether, or is
So
it?
I'm going to cover SAP HANA, native HANA development. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have topics related to BA on HANA, BW on HANA, which you are seeing here, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is different and native HANA is different. Here you can see an application layer and HANA database layer is here. But
Okay.
here what we are talking is just SAP HANA. Both belongs to the same SAP HANA technology, but the way it exists is different. Okay, so I'm going to teach predominantly, our course is going to revolve around this SAP HANA development. How you going to connect SAP HANA with different SAP non-SAP systems? How you going to achieve that real time? That itself is a topic in SAP HANA.
Yeah.
Okay, and how you do this data modeling, and how this data models which you developed in HANA being consumed by different reporting tools. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, does this require any kind of programming or anything, knowledge or anything?
Okay, this SAP HANA, this data models which you are developing, this architecture, we used to call it as model to code architecture.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean by model to code is, you create models, okay, in the form of GUI. Okay,
Okay.
internally SAP HANA will generate a code for you. Okay,
Okay.
to develop the model, you need to know the concepts very well. Okay,
Okay.
so it's not about just creating the model. So 85% of the requirement you can achieve it by creating this data models. Okay.
Okay.
There are 15% of the case where you can't achieve your requirement or fulfill your requirement by creating the models. At that time, you might require to use SQL. Okay. And the SQL which you're going to write, it's not the actual SQL. We used to call it as a subset of SQL. That means you write
Okay.
60% of the code, 40% of the code will be taken care by the SAP HANA. Okay. So to answer your question, uh, there is no programming language, but you need to use a database language called SQL, which involves 50% of SAP HANA. Okay. It's not like
But I
whatever
don't
you
have,
develop.
any experience in that. I'm not a programming person in any regards, and I know what SQL is, but I don't think I'll be able to do the programming thing in that.
Okay, I will tell you, when I started, even I don't know SQL. Okay, I never know any programming language in my life. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't even know what is Java, how to
Okay.
do a Java program. Okay, but what I understood is, for you learning a database language is like speaking in English.
Okay.
Okay, it's
Okay.
like telling you do these things in this way, select these fields from this table. It is like speaking in English in a more syntactical way. Okay,
All
so
right. Okay.
any programming, it's not going to come in a period of, matter of a single night. You can't learn any programming language. Okay,
Yeah.
so it is going to come by practice, but what is my job is to help you understand what are all the things available in SQL, and then how to use and in what scenario. Okay, being efficient in SQL is going to come over the period of time. It's not going to be, in the matter of 30-40 days, or in the period of this course I can't make you an expert in SQL. Okay, it
Yeah.
took me like 6 months to 10 months to get used to this SQL.
Okay.
Okay,
What type of projects I will be able to do after running this course? Is it like HANA implementation or migration? What sort of
it is
projects?
going it's going to be predominantly what I would suggest to target is to go for hardcore implementation. Okay,
Implement?
a,
Yeah,
cust
because
a customer a customer has a HANA system and you want to implement a reporting solution for them using the HANA system. That is our primary objective.
okay, because I
Okay,
work as a my prime experience is in within project management, so implementation works very well with that. So I
yeah,
can
exactly. So
yes. So
that's where your experience, where it will come into the picture is, you won't be called in a meeting to say I have this requirement and I want this solution. You will
yeah.
be called in a meeting to say we're going to go for HANA. How well this is going to make a case for our company. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to, when you have this HANA knowledge, you can very well say that you know how this is going to work in real time, what are all the advantages you're going to get. To speak that, you need to know how this is going to work. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
that's where this course comes into the picture. You know how that tool is going to get implemented, then you can speak a lot about during that project management.
okay. So let's say I've done this course as SAP HANA, which you do.
Yeah.
Do I need to do any other thing in within HANA after this at some point?
Uh, at some point I would say, see, for anything, you have to project yourself as a package consultant. In SAP world,
Yeah.
what I would say is I am a BI consultant. Okay, when I
Yeah.
started, that
Yeah.
means whatever related to BI developments, that means whatever I do the data modeling here, that is what my expertise is. Okay,
Okay.
so as after 2.5 years, I learned ABAP programming, where whenever like how SQL is required for HANA, likewise ABAP is required for BI. Okay, there is a
Okay.
programming language called ABAP. So I learned to do ABAP so that whatever ABAP work required in BI, I learned it. After like 2 years, I learned some reporting tools.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when I try for other companies, I project myself as a BI consultant who can do ABAP, plus I can do a reporting as well. Okay,
Okay.
so I would always suggest, whoever taking this course, you take 1.5 years time to completely get experienced in SAP HANA. Okay,
Yeah.
after that you learn some reporting tools which are available in the market. You have different SAP business objects reporting tools like Web Intelligence, Crystal Reports. For developing dashboards, you have different tools. You learn one tool for reporting and one tool for dashboarding. Then you can go yourself as a package consultant who can give a solution right from the scratch till the reporting. you know so
Okay.
I won't say immediately you have to do something. I would say you take some time. After 1 year time, you learn some reporting tool so that you can speak to a customer saying, okay, you can use HANA, and if you use this reporting tool, you can achieve your requirement in a more efficient way. You should able to tell them what to use, because business will never come to you saying, I want to use this tool and this tool to achieve my requirement. How to do that? It's not going to be the case.
Yeah. So
They
without
will,
that knowledge, without the reporting tool knowledge, will I be able to get some sort of job with just this certification? SAP HANA,
ex-
SAP HANA.
absolutely. You will get a job for SAP HANA developer, HANA modeler. If you see any requirement like SAP HANA developer on HANA modeler, you can easily get a job with this. Okay. The
So
ultimate, yeah,
is it
yeah, go
only
ahead.
a developer courses you do, or this is something else in just on the implementation side? We can do something in SAP HANA.
So SAP HANA, when I say implementation, it's going to be the development.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So since you don't write a developer, generally they call the Java developer, or that means you write hardcore right from the scratch till the end. You write in the form of code. Implementation is there is already a base thing has been laid out, and then using that you are doing something. That's why we
Okay,
call it as an implementation. So
okay.
implementation developer all remains same. Okay. So you will be there as a HANA developer who develop data models and helps the reporting. Okay. So that is the
Okay.
primary job which you will get when you complete this, and that is what the requirement you predominantly see in any of the job portal.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned and scared about
Mm,
this SQL, programming.
No, it's absolutely, that is the thing, that's why people think that, going for a functional like SAP MM or SD is a safe bet. People
Yeah,
used to think, it's only functional, it is only configuration, so that is the safe way to enter. But that is the safe way to enter, there is no doubt about that. But when you are trying to pursue SAP as your career, the life cycle for those things are very less, you
uh-huh.
know. So it's at the end of the day, it is a configuration. If you are not if you are couldn't able to do it on a Friday, you will do it on a Monday.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it is as simple as that. Okay. So almost anything, experience matters, but when you are trying to achieve something, it's a configuration. And
Yes. And
without a SAP technical consultant's help, you can't go beyond a point. Okay.
yes,
So you need a ABAP developer to debug and tell you how the solution works in order to do a lot of things.
yes, yes. So can I like put my career in a line with the suppose if I do your course and pass everything, can I just focus on project management of implementation? I mean, I don't do any programming, but like in projects, sometimes companies hire just project management manager to implement this app, but they still have technical people who do all the programming and stuff within HANA. Do you think that path is possible with this course?
That possible because when you are a project management, you will be given a task to get a implementation done with a certain amount of time with a certain money. That is going to be a predominant thing, right? Which going
Yes.
to come to you. So when someone says, I will complete this work in this much amount of time, and when you know exactly how that work is being done, then you can able to ascertain whether this is going to really take this much time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. When I say to do this report, I am going to take 5 weeks. When you know the ins and outs of SAP HANA implementation, you can make a call saying whether this is going to take 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that is the first thing. Okay. When you know the ins and outs, it's not about just managing the work or getting the things done. You exactly know how the work is being done.
Yeah,
Okay.
that I believe as well, that to even become a project manager, you need to have some technical knowledge, so you know
Yeah.
what your staff and team members are doing.
Exactly.
And yeah,
So when a technical person comes with a problem, you can relate very easily.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So I would say whoever takes this course, the ultimate objective for them is to become a HANA developer. Okay.
HANA
So
developer.
when you don't want to go in that path, but you want to use that knowledge to take care of the project management,
Yeah.
it is going to help you still.
Okay.
Okay.
And what
If
the certification will be as a developer certification?
you have two types of certification, developer and professional.
Okay.
Okay. So developer is like you need to read 2 books, and professional means you need to read 4 books. That is the difference.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. In
So
terms of doing the things, as you see, based on the name, professional has got more weightage.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there
Can
are
can
like
you do you remember the certifications exam numbers or stuff like that?
So HA 300 used to call it as HANA modeling and implementation.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me write down so I can do some research of my own.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, 1 second. Let me open. Okay, HA
HA 300 modeling and implementation.
modeling and implementation. So
So
this is for developer.
yeah, this is for developer. I'm not sure about the professional certification, number. Okay, maybe
Okay,
I can check and let you know.
okay, okay. That's
But there
fine.
are two certification: HANA Application Associate, HANA Application Professional.
And so the one you told me HA 300 is a associate. This
Yeah,
one.
Associate is developer, HANA Application Associate.
So that's obviously uh, 300 HA 300 associate.
Yeah, and there is something called HANA Application Professional.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, these are the two things available.
So exams. Have you done the certifications?
No, I personally don't believe in certification, so I don't do that.
Yeah. In where I live here is.
No, no, on-site is completely different. I don't debate on someone, who's staying abroad. In India, I feel like certification doesn't work because people used to screw you more when you do certification in
I know. I
India.
understand. I understand. In India, it's more by experience. But
Yeah, so
over here, companies and clients only believe you if you are certified in something.
certified.
You hold
Exactly, because
more value. Yeah.
yeah, that's a basic thing which they believe that you don't lie, first of all.
Yeah.
And certification means you know the basic things of that particular technology.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So regards to course, after doing the course or while we're doing the course, will you be able to, because you must be running some sort of implementation projects where you're working.
Yeah.
Will,
So
will will you be able to show me some examples of your implementations and some documents how it works and everything?
I will I forgot to tell you this. So how the course is going to be, there is no going to be any PPT or anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to take a concept, we're going to take a requirement, and we're going to learn how to do that requirement. In that course, we're going to learn all the concepts that are there in HANA. First point.
Okay.
Okay. There is not going to be any theoretical classes. Any topic that I'm going to take, I'm going to take up with a real-time example, and I'm going to show you how that is being done. In that course, we're going to learn all the concepts.
All
First
right.
point.
Okay.
Second
Okay.
point is I will be doing a requirement during the class. Okay.
Okay.
And I will give assignments to you. What will be the assignments is whatever I done in the class, I would ask you to do the exact ditto. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Because first point is you have to get used to the SAP HANA tool.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I do in the class, you feel like, okay, I go here, do something, change here, right click, you learn everything. But when you try to do it by closing everything, you will get stuck somewhere because you will not
Yes.
be comfortable with the tool. So that's why what I suggest is first set of assignments what I give is whatever I do in the class, I would ask you to exactly do that same thing, ditto. If
Yeah.
you get stuck somewhere, you refer my solution which I done in the class and you do that. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I verify it. The second set of assignments is similar to that. I will give a new set of requirements for you to practice. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't want to teach A plus B and give you some very complex A square plus B square formula. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
do that. So I do A plus B, you do A plus B. On that same lines, then I will help you to think about how to solve A square plus B square thing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That is how I'm going to do. And I'm going to give you the materials which I have for SAP HANA, okay, to you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is how my class would be like. Whatever I do in the class, I will ask you to do it. And then, in the next class, I will be seeing that solution, how you have done everything. If you have any doubts, we're going to revisit that one.
So is
Okay.
will it be one-to-one, or do you have more students, or?
So as of now, it's one-to-one. You are the one who is available.
Okay.
Okay. We
Okay.
just done with one batch.
Okay.
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 So whatever class we're going to have, it's going to be via GoToMeeting. So the session, you will be recording it because you will be logging in the GoToMeeting. Okay.
Okay.
So you are the one who is going to record and who is going to download the recordings, which you can review it whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay. So that is how it's going to work.
Is it free to go to meetings?
Yeah, I mean, Sana will provide you the link along with the user ID password. So you will be, because if I log in with GoToMeeting, I need to download and I need to share you all the recordings.
Oh, understand. Okay. Okay. That's
Okay.
fine.
So there is no point in that. So you will be logging in, you will be recording, and you will be downloading it to your desktop or laptop, and you can
Okay.
review it whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
And how long this course will take?
So theoretically, this will take 40 to 45 days. Okay.
Okay.
Assuming that we are having 1 hour class all day. Okay.
Basically we'll have every day class. Yeah. Okay.
Everyday class, but I don't really go by that number. Okay. If
Okay.
it takes, if we complete by 45 days, it's good. If it takes 55 days, I'm ready to go for 55 days. It's all
Okay.
about how you are getting up with the or coping up with the things. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like I have to complete this topic by today, so I complete it. Doesn't matter you understood or not. It's not like that.
Okay.
Okay. So based on your understanding, I will slow down the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So based on your response or feedback, I know, okay, you are getting this or you are finding it difficult to understand this. So I have completed this course in 30 days. I have completed this course in 50 days. In
Okay.
different set of people, it's not a hard and fast rule. It,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you need to understand, and I also need to, it's not, I shouldn't be doing just for the sake of completion.
Yeah.
So there has to be, a win-win situation. You should also need to learn this. I should also complete it and make you understand this.
Yeah. That's true.
So there is no hard and fast rule. So theoretically, it's going to be 40 to 45 days. But if we going to take up as per, how you're going to pick it up.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
timings and all, you will do it, as like I assume you prefer to do during the night time. I mean your evening time or night time or like morning time. So whichever is
yes.
comfortable, we will be doing it in that way. Okay.
So my night time will be your very early morning.
Yeah. So we'll be taking up with that time. Okay. So you don't need to worry about that. So you just let Sana know what is your comfortable time, and we'll work out the class on that.
All right. So if we just sometimes if I need to change some time, I think can we do that if I give you enough time or enough notice that some days if I need to change some time or something, is that possible or?
It's all flexible, so nothing to worry. We used
Okay.
to do that.
Okay.
Even some days, even I had to postpone the class. Likewise, it has happened. So it is always 2 ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It will be flexible. It's not like, okay, this day you have to come, else it's not going. It's not like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It will be flexible.
Definitely.
The ultimate aim is to make you understand SAP HANA. That is the objective. Other things we will
Yeah.
work it out because it's all how flexible we're going to do the things.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No problem. That's fine. So I'll speak to Sana then after this, and we'll take it from there then.
Okay,
Because
Amit. So you let Sana know what you think. So and then as you said, we'll take it up from there. Okay.
yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for your time, Satyan.
No problem, Amit. It's a pleasure talking to you. Take care.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.